Hi everyone. If you're enjoying the show and have appreciated the tips and experience being shared with you, maybe consider leaving a one-off tip to support production, including the hosting, the booking, the marketing, the recording, the editing, and every other aspect of making a show like this. You can do that by visiting podcastingpeople.uk/support or via the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening.
Hi there, I'm Giles and I'm the Festival Director at Cheerful, Earful Podcast Festival. And today I'm going to give you a tip about live shows and how you should just go and do it. I am a production manager at Gideon Comedy who specialise in original and memorable live events. That is everything from live podcast shows. We've done The Rest is History, The Rest is Politics. For the Many, we book their UK tour. We also do live shows with sort of internet famous people like Fesshole. We have a tour with them at the moment. And we also run Cheerful, Earful Podcast Festival, which is a chance to see your favourite funny podcasts live and is returning for its third year in October of this year. If you're listening outside of 2024, it has already happened. Like many people in the industry, I kicked things off my love for audio in student radio at the legends at URN, University Radio Nottingham. After that, I clawed my way into a radio job, few and far between these days, but I worked for the lovely lot at Jack FM and eventually Union Jack Radio, their national station, for 7 years. And you can see it, radio and podcasts and audio are all very, very similar in the skill set. And towards the end of my time working in radio, we were very much focusing on-demand audio, on podcasts, and really, really playing with the format, playing with the idea of people interacting, and focusing as well on commissioning original comedy and original comedy audio. And that really spurred my love for comedy podcasts, and not even necessarily purely comedy podcasts, but those podcasts that you return to that cheer you up, that make you laugh, that on your commute when you're stuffed up against people on the tube or on the bus, that just bring a smile to your face. That really was the kernel of an idea. Then I moved full-time into podcasting in 2021. I set up my own company, Gideon Comedy, and we were working in earnest on lots of bits and bobs, including 2022. We launched the first ever Cheerful, Earful Podcast Festival, doing exactly that, celebrating everyone's favorite funny podcasts, giving audiences the chance to see their favorite shows live, and really, really importantly, making it accessible for performers. There's so many festivals out there where it's very expensive for performers to turn up, all of their costs, if they have to travel, getting in the brochure, all this. So still now going into our third year of Cheerful Earful, it is free for all performers. We get them in the brochure. We give them all this marketing push. It's completely free to perform. And we absolutely love having them part of the festival. One thing that I absolutely love about podcasting, I think, specifically comedy podcasts or funny shows, because I'd say that's my go-to, are the relationships between the hosts. For example, one of my absolute comfort blanket podcasts is The Weekly Planet, which is pop culture, film reviews, TV reviews, and it's basically two Aussie blokes who started it the best part of 10 years ago, chatting about their recent release films. And I enjoy sitting with them in my ears, whether they like it or not. And they are not a comedy podcast. They are, they don't put themselves as that. And yet they are brilliant and hilarious together. Their relationship is infectious. So it's almost like, I would say, a part of their friendship group, because I'm not, but you feel part of the gang and you're listening, and it always just brings a smile to my face. So I think distilling that is the relationships that people can have on podcasts, where it's just the callbacks, the jokes, the poking, the teasing, the knowledge that if they're having fun, I'm having fun. It's almost like when you see someone corpsing in a play, or someone trying to hold it together in film or TV, they're just having such a great time. I love that feeling, and it always makes me feel better listening to that. My one big tip, if you're thinking about doing a live event, or even just thinking about doing a meetup with your listeners, your fans, is just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't feel like you have to ticket it, you have to do this, you have to film it. Some of the most popular shows that we have at Cheerful, Earful are not the biggest, don't have the most downloads. They're the smaller shows that have this absolutely massively engaged audience that want to subscribe to their Patreon, that want to buy their merch, that just want to be in the same room. So even if you've got a handful of absolutely loyal listeners, just find a pub near you. It doesn't have to be this expensive event space. It doesn't have to even cost money. Just go down to your local pub or wherever, your village hall. You know, if you know the owner, great. Have a chat to them. Say, you keep the bar. We'll do a live show for you, and just make it happen. Build that community, build that love, and then you can go from there. It doesn't have to be a big, scary thing. Anyone can do a live podcast event. You can find out more about Cheerful Earful Podcast Festival at cheerfulearful.co.uk, and you can see all of my links in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to the brilliant podcasting people.
Like the sound of this episode? The Sound Boutique can help with your show too, from fixing problem audio all the way through to producing full shows. Visit thesoundboutique.com today to start a conversation. The link is in the show notes.